SCP-001 Object Class Keter Special Containment Procedures From 23rd of December 1971 to the 2nd of November 2016, SCP-001 was contained by the existence of SCP-2798. Based upon yesterday's cessation of SCP-2798, emergency containment measures are in effect until further notice. These measures include sustained containment efforts of anomalous phenomena by any means necessary, with priority given to those most likely to cause elevated loss of life and or severe damage to human belief in rationality. Research into means of bringing about the sequence of events shown to be possible in the newly documented determinative set XZ. Isolation of any communication attempts with the Foundation staff or civilians originating from SCP-001. Personnel are to monitor this file continuously for any future directives. Description: SCP-001 is a sapient entity or entities capable of initiating and exerting control over anomalous phenomena on Earth and in all regions of space observable thus far by modern scientific methods. SCP-001 is hostile and is believed to be motivated by a desire to cause profound distress and suffering to humanity and on a planetary scale. The methodology of SCP-001 in achieving this goal appears to include undermining large-scale human institutions and specifically eroding belief in a rational consensus reality. Anomalous activity has been documented by the Foundation since its inception in Data Redacted, and evidence exists of such activity dating back to the beginnings of recorded history. However, shortly after the formal establishment of the Foundation, this activity increased sharply, and early statistical models suggested a coordinated actor behind a significant amount of documented anomalies. The presence of an agent causing this phenomena was confirmed in 1953. Communication was received from SCP-001 by the Foundation in early 1954, demonstrating that SCP-001 possessed sapience and intelligence that was sufficiently analogous to humans to enable a meaningful transfer of information. The records of this communication are limited to Level 5 clearance at this time. Upon receiving the communication from SCP-001, Project Serapis, later known as SCP-2798, was initiated. This project is believed to have interfered significantly with SCP-001's ability to locate and perceive humanity and Earth during its lifetime, accounting for a sharp decline in the rate of new anomalous phenomena and fewer anomalies of a high-impact nature. With the cessation of SCP-2798, SCP-001 has succeeded in locating and properly identifying the population of Earth, and resumed its direct influence over anomalous activity on Earth and local environs as of 2nd of November 2016. This has taken the form of newly documented anomalies as well as the spontaneous disappearance and reappearance outside of Foundation custody of previously contained phenomena. In new iterations that have been altered to apparently cause greater amounts of difficulty in containment and heightened physiological impact upon Foundation personnel and civilians. A developing listing of altered phenomena with existing SCP designations is attached to this file. The precise nature of SCP-001 itself is unknown at this time. Available sources of information suggest that SCP-001 is alive, occupies a plane of existence either similar or identical to that observable by humanity, displays a form of intelligence organically, similar to that of humans or adapted to be such, and possesses an intimate understanding of human psychology. The purpose behind SCP-001's manipulation of local reality is not discernible with current information. No means are now known of interfering directly with SCP-001. Addendum 001.1 Situational Updates November 2nd, 2016. A lot of databases are compromised. Apollo 62 hosts 001 and will probably be the last to go down in the event of a total collapse. Use this space to back up any bulletins you've been sending out. R. Armitage, Chief Information Officer. November 2nd, 2016. The organism to which SCP-058 belongs is now in its holding area. Additional security personnel requested immediately. J. Epstein, Containment Supervisor, Armed Biocontainment Area 14. November 3rd, 2016. Is anyone else able to contact Site-77? We need details, ASAP. K. Novatelnov, Eastern European Charge d'Affaires, Department of External Affairs. November 3rd, 2016. November 3rd, 2016 Force Readiness Report. Combat-capable forces in Zone 8 to 692, personnel 19 units. This message is automatically generated. Do not respond. Foundation Milserv List. November 3rd, 2016. Any IT folks who can see this, get those pictures of all the 439 instances down off Imager now. A. Singh, Emergent Phenomena Specialist, Site 45. November 3rd, 2016. I'm trapped in my office and I cannot access any other database. Send assistance to Area 7. Please hurry. F. Ramirez, Research Director, Armed Topographical Area 7. November 3rd, 2016. System error. Message lost. A. Gladstone, North American Subdirector. November 3rd, 2016. The entirety of the Ursa Minor constellation is no longer observable in the night sky. Please update all navigation software accordingly. Q. Nguyen, astrophysicist, Office of Celestial Anomalies. November 3rd, 2016. Requesting permission to counterattack the SCP-1000 instances occupying Blalock, Oregon. We will engage in 15 minutes if we continue to receive no acknowledgement from command. M. Iqbal, Captain, Mobile Task Force Zeta 1000. November 3rd, 2016. F. Ramirez, Research Director, Armed Topographical Area 7. November 3rd, 2016. Site 17 is lost. Evacuate all remaining personnel. Disregard all other communications saying otherwise. Do not send any more personnel within 100 miles. I am personally redirecting all remaining disinformation units on the continent to put a natural disaster narrative out ASAP. Verified Overseer account. November 3rd, 2016. Nightingale 528. All staff are instructed to stop thinking about squids or octopi immediately. Staff overseeing cephalopod-like SCP objects are instructed to destroy them as soon as feasible. This message has been transmitted in a Grade B subconscious suggestibility modality cognitohazard. Staff recalling the entirety of this message are ordered to seek amnestic treatment immediately. Do not think about octopi or squids. E. Sanderson, Emergent Phenomena Specialist, Site 18. November 3rd, 2016. To all embedded assets within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The code word is, I repeat, the code word is, you read that correctly. Identity redacted. Level 5. SCP data redacted. Clearance required. November 3rd, 2016. Do not abandon Site 17. I remind you that the punishment for desertion is summary execution. Verified Overseer account. November 3rd, 2016. Distress signal received. Unable to respond. Sorry. T. Angstrom, Antarctic Regional Emergency Response Coordinator. November 3rd, 2016. This is an automated message. The communications network for Site 23 is not operational at this time. The likely cause is fire, explosion, or other. You will be notified when the network is back in working order. Please do not respond. Foundation Announcements Survey. November 3rd, 2016. Please sign up by today for the Site 81 Holiday Potluck. No paper plates or cups, please. F. Chow, Remote Site 81 Human Resources Director. November 3rd, 2016. Town of Blaylock is back under control. Massive casualties. Need medevac and a disinformation team ASAP. M. Iqbal, Captain, Mobile Task Force Zeta 1000. November 3rd, 2016. Times of India website has been taken down. Checking to see if other news outlets needs to be taken offline. Stand by. In Chaudhry, Western Asia Subdirector. November 3rd, 2016. False alarm. No need for further action. Everything is fine. F. Ramirez, Research Director, Armed Topographical Area 7. November 3rd, 2016. We're activating the failsafe now. Our people have done all they can. Keep on fighting, everyone. W. Hermanson, Security Director, Armed Site 12. November 3rd, 2016. Cancel the order for the replacement Suzuki GSX R1000 chain. Found one at the local motorcycle shop. Bike works fine. A. Rojaz, Captain, Mobile Task Force, Phoenix 9. November 3rd, 2016. All personnel at Site 35 are instructed to stay away from maximum security Morgue 3A until containment specialists have finished constructing the barrier. H. Casimir, Director, Site 35. November 3rd, 2016. I am in the secure control room with Captain Hughes. Credentials and a lot of blood on my lab coat. I don't remember what the contents of the message I'm supposed to send are. If anyone knows, that would be good. Z. Hughes, Captain, Mobile Task Force Epsilon 7. November 3rd, 2016. The day will come when this earth will be substituted with a new earth, and also the heavens, and everyone will be brought before God, the One, the Supreme. Allah preserve us. M. Al-Hazmi, Interfaith Liaison, Armed Area 19. November 3rd, 2016. November 3rd update. Force Readiness Report update. Combat capable forces in Zone 8-15. Personnel 0 units. This message is automatically generated. Do not respond. Foundation Milserv list. November 3rd, 2016. Okay. You can let the news crews back into Angkor Wat now. Christ. W. Kozlowski, Senior Emergent Phenomena Specialist, Biosite 52. November 3rd, 2016. Apollo 62 is experiencing difficulties. We're limiting it to 001 critical activities now. Please use whatever backup systems are available to you. Watch yourselves out there. R. Amatage, Chief Information Officer. Addendum 001.1 Post-Serapis Anomaly Documentation. Affected Item SCP-063. Pre-Serapis Description. Plastic toothbrush, labeled the world's best toothbrush, capable of removing from existence all dead and inorganic matter that comes into contact with its bristles. Post-Serapis description. An unidentified humanoid advertising itself as the world's best dentist. Entity has been known to appear at low-cost dental service facilities and is capable of generating a localized time anomaly used to make the entity and its patient experience time at a much slower rate than the outside world. Prior to amnesticization, patients have reported experiencing dental procedures lasting in excess of 2 to 3 days during relative time periods of 10 to 15 minutes by outside observation. Affected subjects uniformly report healthy teeth and gums. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-087. Pre-Serapis description. An unending stairwell located at Data Redacted University. Host to an unknown hostile entity. Post-Serapis description. An unending stairwell located at United States Department of Defense Headquarters, also known as the Pentagon. Host to an unknown hostile entity of note. Unlike the previous iteration of this anomaly, SCP-087 has been observed to open the doorway to its entrance of its own accord. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-106. Pre-Serapis description. Hostile humanoid with corrosive effects on nearby matter utilizing trans-dimensional space manipulation to capture prey subjects within an area under its absolute control for enormously extended periods of time. Post-Serapis description. As before, with the exception that SCP-106 displays greater intelligence, to the point of speaking with research staff and utilizing its dimensional manipulation properties for more effective escape attempts. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-167. Pre-Serapis description. A 10-meter cubic object composed of an unknown white plastic polymer, accessible by a door, serving as the access point for an indefinitely recursive series of doors, leading to further extra-dimensional rooms of a similar nature. Post-Serapis description. A 10-meter cubic object composed of an unknown white plastic polymer, accessible by a door, serving as the access point for an indefinitely recursive series of doors leading to further rooms of a similar nature. 11% of observed doors within SCP-167 now lead to rooms within other Foundation facilities. 7% of observed doors within SCP-167 now lead to the Russian Federation's still classified space station. 17% of observed doors now lead to rooms containing automated constructs of various models and types designed to forcibly harvest human brain tissue. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-222. Pre-Serapis description. A tunnel complex in the Italian Dolomite Mountains containing a stone coffin, capable of producing biological copies of living human subjects placed inside. Clones suffer from global retrograde amnesia. Post-Serapis description. A tunnel complex in the Italian Dolomite Mountains containing a stone coffin, capable of producing biological copies of the mothers of living human subjects placed inside. Clones retain full memories of the original human they are based upon, and in cases where the original subject is deceased, memories of post-mortem experiences. Data expunged. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-001m. Pre-Serapis description. Anomalous coffee machine capable of producing any requested liquid substance and dispensing it. Post-Serapis description. Anomalous coffee machine capable of producing any beverage currently produced by the Coca-Cola Company or its subsidiaries, regardless of input. Requests for non-Coca-Cola Company products from SCP-001m will affect the company's stock price in a manner not yet understood at present, with requests for non-edible items such as antifreeze, weed killer, and mercury displaying a tendency to result in sharp increases in trading. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-332. Pre-Serapis description. Group of anomalous humanoids representing as a high school marching band with cognito-hazardous effects on human observers, contained at the former Kirk Lawnwood High School, located in Data Redacted. Post-Serapis description. Group of anomalous humanoids presenting as a high school marching band with cognito-hazardous effects on human observers, manifesting briefly and repeatedly at locations commonly associated with American high school marching band field trips, such as Walt Disney World, the Rose Bowl, Outdoor Stadium, and Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-383. Pre-Serapis description. An anomalous strain of influenza causing infected subjects to regurgitate various items deemed useful to that person in their present circumstances. Post-Serapis description. An anomalous strain of influenza causing a cluster of infected subjects to regurgitate components of complex devices, typically of illicit nature. These devices included equipment for the manufacture of ketamine, electronic security lock override devices, remote-controlled explosive devices, and, in one case, sets of falsified identification credentials. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-400. Pre-Serapis description. Organisms similar to the common pill bug observed to feed on human mammary secretions by infesting and manipulating decreased human infants, while exerting perceptual influence on humans in order to take advantage of natural child-rearing instincts to secure food supplies. Post-Serapis description. Organisms similar to the common pillbug observed to feed on human mammary secretions by infesting and manipulating decreased humans up to the age of 17 and 18, while exerting perceptual influence on humans in order to take advantage of natural child-rearing instincts to secure food supplies. Recontained? No. No matter how many times I read this or have to read this, this is probably my least favorite. Affected item SCP-001m. Serapis, is that what it's called? Serapis description. I'm an electric toaster, appliance that causes documentation about me and attempts to describe me to be in the first person. I cause subjects exposed to me for extended periods to identify themselves as a toaster and attempt to mimic my functions as such. Post-Serapis description. You are a toaster. Recontained? No. God, I hate that. Affected item SCP-565. Pre-Serapis description. An ambulatory human head mimicking the behavior of coral crab. Post-Serapis description. 3 ambulatory human heads mimicking the behavior of the honey badger. Specimens have demonstrated the ability to reproduce asexually. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-583. Pre-Serapis description. Anomalous video recording of an unknown performance of Sesame Street live that causes viewers to perceive all fictional characters in any narrative they read, listen to, or see to die by asphyxiation. Post-Serapis description. Anomalous video recording of an unknown performance of Sesame Street live that causes viewers to perceive all fictional characters in any narrative they read, listen to, or see to die by asphyxiation after relating a short mini-narrative of the next 5 minutes that will be experienced by the viewer. Item reclassified to Keter. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-662. Pre-Serapis description. A silver handbell that, when rung, summons a humanoid presenting as an English butler, anonymously capable of completing almost any assigned task. Post-Serapis description. A silver handbell that, when rung, transports the person ringing it to an apparently random, unknown location. In almost all instances, the subject will be requested to perform a seemingly impossible task, and will then be anonymously compelled to complete it, regardless of any normally debilitating distress or injury that may be encountered in the course of completing it. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-686. Pre-Serapis description. A fluid resembling high-grade dairy milk, causing humans that ingest it to begin lactating at ever-increasing rates, growing mammary tissue and additional nipple structures to accommodate new and/or increased milk production capabilities. Post-Serapis description. A fluid resembling Thumbs Up brand cola, found in the field being manufactured at a beverage production plant in Hyderabad, India, causing humans that ingest it to begin urinating a fluid with the same properties at ever-increasing rates. Recontained? No. Affected item. SCP-001. Pre-Serapis description. A play known as The Hanged King's Tragedy, a mimetic phenomenon taking the form of a stage production that results in anomalous manifestations of unknown entities during performances, and among other effects causing thespians and audience members to engage in acts of violence. Post-Serapis description. A television drama known as The Hanged King, premiering in American media markets through the HBO Premium Cable Network on November 3rd, 2016, with no advance notification or advertising. The first episode, entitled Hands of the King, appears to encompass Act 1 of the play. The parts of Gonzalo, Isabella, Francisco, and Antonio are played by actors Javier Bardem, Ingrid Bolzo-Berdal, Alejandro Jodorowsky, and Beat Takeshi, respectively. Aside from the show's provenance, which was done without apparent knowledge or documented participation by any of the cast, crew, or executives who appear on film or listed in credits, no anomalous phenomena have yet been observed in connection with this program. On November 4th, 2016, an information breach occurred when the New York Times reported that The Hanged King had been renewed for 5 seasons by HBO. Recontained? No. Affected item. SCP-001m. Pre-Serapis description. A black, long-haired domestic cat capable of changing the physical form of entities within 30 meters of it, and influencing thought processes of humans within effective range. SCP-001m uses these abilities to satisfy basic needs and desires consistent with that of a typical domestic cat. SCP-001m is capable of transferring these abilities to other cats on a temporary basis. Post-Serapis description. A black, long-haired domestic cat capable of changing the physical form of entities within 30 meters of it and influencing thought processes of humans within effective range. SCP-001m uses these abilities to satisfy basic needs and desires consistent with that of a wasp of the Tarantula Hawks family. SCP-001m is capable of transferring these abilities to other cats on a permanent basis. Recontained? No. Affected item. SCP-852 Pre-Serapis Description: An anachronistic steel and brass ship capable of space travel, as well as its mummified pilot found on the lunar surface. Pilot killed by unknown assailants on the lunar surface. Post-Serapis Description: An anachronistic steel and brass ship capable of space travel, as well as its mummified pilot found on the lunar surface. Pilot killed by unknown assailants. Object is attended at all times by a disembodied man's voice speaking in French, urging an unknown party to be ready to kill him again. Voice does not respond to questioning or acknowledge any known events. Recontained? Yes. Affected item: SCP-860. Pre-Serapis Description: A blue key capable of fitting in any door lock, causing the user to pass through an extra-dimensional space resembling a small forest clearing between the room they are leaving and the room they are entering. Post-Serapis Description: A construction firm known as Blue Key Partners, operating primarily in London, specializing in excavation projects and restoration of historical buildings. Structures constructed by Blue Key Partners all contain multiple rooms that, upon entry, cause persons and items to be transported to an unknown location. 3 persons have been documented entering these rooms. None have returned as of this time. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-956. Pre-Serapis Description: An animate pinata causing children in its presence to become immobilized while internal organs are transmuted into packaged food products resembling common forms of candy. Consumption of this candy results in affected persons transforming into additional instances of SCP-956. Post-Serapis Description: An animate pinata causing children in its presence to become immobilized while internal organs are transmuted into small glass vials containing crack cocaine. Consumption of the contents of these vials results in affected persons transforming into additional instances of SCP-956. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-993. Pre-Serapis Description: Anomalous television program styled as a children's show featuring Bobble the Clown, viewable only by children under the age of 10, featuring the titular character advocating and engaging in acts of violence and depravity. Post-Serapis Description: Anomalous television program styled as a cable news program featuring Bobble the Clown, viewable only by adults over the age of 18, featuring the titular character urging prominent political figures to commit acts of violence and depravity, who are uniformly seen to agree with statements made by the character. Guests have included United Kingdom Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and National People's Congress of China Chairman Zhang Dejiang. Researchers have been unable to verify if guests on the show are aware of their appearance on it at this time. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-1004. Pre-Serapis description: computer program enabling users to access images and videos of any conceivable pornographic act, resulting in changes to exposed persons' sexual preferences, to extreme and violent acts and imagery. Post-Serapis description: computer program enabling users to access images and videos of any conceivable pornographic act involving data expunged. A 67-year-old retired programmer living in Great Falls, Montana. SCP-1004 results in changes to exposed persons' sexual preferences, to extreme and violent acts perpetuated against data expunged. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-1029. Pre-Serapis description: a JPEG image file depicting a stalk of purple flowers capable of releasing a floral fragrance if the surface of the screen displaying the image is gently rubbed by a human subject. Post-Serapis description: a series of JPEG image files depicting multiple human faces, corresponding to 5 known living persons, 2 deceased persons, and 13 unknown persons. A living human subject rubbing the screen displaying these images causes depicted persons to experience analogous tactile sensations. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-1165. Pre-Serapis description: a randomly accessible, uninhabited extra-dimensional urban space with no observable boundaries. Post-Serapis description: a randomly accessible extra-dimensional urban space with no observable boundaries, populated by automated constructs of various models and types designed to forcibly harvest human brain tissue. Initial drone explorations provisionally estimate the population of these constructs at 11.8 billion. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-1173. Pre-Serapis description: an anti-memetic phenomenon associated with the Islamic Republic of Eastern Samothrace, erasing awareness of the nation from the memory and perception of infected individuals. Post-Serapis description: a memetic phenomenon associated with the city of Kemarakan in the Islamic Republic of Eastern Samothrace, causing all infected individuals to be aware of the city's location, landmarks, major thoroughfares, and notable residents, including the entirety of the surviving former members of the Foundation Near Eastern Affairs Unit, now designated as GOI 3394, with perfect recall. Recontained, pending completion of Operation Haven. Affected item SCP-1230. Pre-Serapis description: an unlabeled green hardcover book capable of causing human subjects who read it to experience detailed, perfectly recalled dreams resembling fantasy narratives, gilded by an anomalous entity known as the Bookkeeper. Post-Serapis description: an apparent 2nd century CE manuscript titled The Infancy Gospel of Polyxena, capable of causing human subjects who read it to experience detailed hallucinations in which they are present alongside a child possessed of miraculous abilities, believed to be a depiction of Jesus of Nazareth. All affected subjects commence their hallucinations in a location described by a disembodied female voice as the last catacombs. Choices made by affected subjects within the context of their hallucinations after subsequent visions substantially. Recontained? Yes. Affected item: SCP-1247. Pre-Serapis description: a human male with an anomalous condition causing him to perceive all animals, animal parts, and animal matter as American actor Shia LaBeouf. Post-Serapis description: an anomalous condition affecting American actor Shia LaBeouf, causing him to perceive all animals, animal parts, and animal matter as Shia LaBeouf. This anomaly has caused increasingly erratic behavior in Mr. LaBeouf, and will likely require a high-profile containment effort. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-1322. Pre-Serapis description: a stable spacetime anomaly, presently hypothesized to be an interdimensional aperture to a parallel universe. Occupants of this apparent universe, after a series of interactions with Foundation personnel, are currently attempting to destroy life on Earth. Post-Serapis description: a stable spacetime anomaly, presently hypothesized to be an interdimensional aperture to a parallel universe. Occupants of this apparent universe have closed their side of the aperture and installed several redundant automated systems apparently designed to prevent reopening of the aperture. Recontained? Yes. Affected item: SCP-1328. Pre-Serapis description: phenomenon affecting a small portion of the American state of Tennessee, in which individuals become convinced that the territory belongs to a nation that is not the United States. Post-Serapis description: phenomenon affecting a small portion of the American state of Tennessee, in which individuals become convinced that the territory belongs to the Russian Federation. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-1440. Pre-Serapis description: anomalous humanoid that unwillingly causes widespread death and destruction to befall any human populations that it encounters. Post-Serapis description: anomalous humanoid that unwillingly causes widespread good fortune and beneficial events to occur to any human population within 300 kilometers of his presence. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-1474. Pre-Serapis description: an art installation known as In Solidarity with Zhao Li Dao, Great Sage, Equal of Heaven, capable of dispersing an aerosolized polymer compound that immobilizes everything in close proximity in response to efforts to contain or isolate it. Post-Serapis description: a humanoid known as Zhao Li Dao, associated with an apartment phenomenon affecting casualty that is responsible for members of the 12 Galaxies Coalition, a political party led by Mr. Zhu, holding seats in world legislative bodies despite no previous records of participation in the electoral process. Members of the 12 Galaxies Coalition hold no coherent ideological agenda. The 12 Galaxies Coalition has attained coalition partner status in Sweden, Uruguay, Bhutan, and Canada. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-1543. Pre-Serapis description: an unassigned phone number, when dialed, reaches a human subject in an unknown parallel plane of existence, inhabited by an unknown species of quadrupedal predatory creatures. Post-Serapis description: an unassigned phone number that, when dialed, reaches an untraceable location, hosting a recorded message. The message, read by a speaker of Nuhotal, of indeterminate age or gender, currently is as follows: specimens collected 323,849. Cerebral critically event projected with likelihood of 13%. Testing has shown that the message remains the same in the event of multiple calls, with the exception of the specific figures, both of which appear to be increasing at a steady rate. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-1584. Pre-Serapis description: a website formerly accessible at www.flotationdevice.data redacted, causing whatever device is displaying the site to become anonymously buoyant and automatically notifying emergency services in the vicinity of the user. Post-Serapis description: a website formerly accessible at www.burialinsurance.data redacted, causing whatever device is displaying the site to generate breathable air within a 1.4 meter radius. The presence of this site was briefly advertised on major news sites before suppression protocols were enacted, with text reading, "Everyone will want it, only you'll have it." Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-001m. Pre-Serapis description: the shredded remains of a chair, consisting of a pile of splinters, wood chippings, furniture nails, and scraps of bleached leather and fabric, capable of teleporting its mass instantaneously between 2 points without any known limit. SCP-1609 is hostile when provoked. Post-Serapis description: the shredded remains of Gerhard T. Kuhn, former chairman of the board of Mecklenburg Nuclear Energy GmbH, consisting of a pile of bone splinters, pieces of connective tissue, chunks of muscle and organ tissue, and scraps of skin capable of teleporting its mass instantaneously between 2 points without any known limit. SCP-1609 is hostile. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-1692. Pre-Serapis description: a sinkhole holding 31 sets of human remains and 24 sets of animal remains, serving as the point of appearance for a series of anomalous humanoids resembling persons that have been reported missing in the general area. Post-Serapis description: a sinkhole holding one set of human remains, serving as the point of appearance for a series of anomalous humanoids all bearing resemblance to Joseph Cantwell, an individual reported missing in 1972. All humanoids originating from SCP-1692 are missing their hands and offer any individuals they encounter valid tickets for a scheduled American Airlines flight from Phoenix, AZ to Washington, D.C., scheduled for May 23rd, 2017. Recontained? Yes. Affected item: SCP-1763. Pre-Serapis description: a time-space anomaly taking the form of a theater located in the basement of a building in New York City. Plays have been documented occurring within this space featuring cast members and subject matter related to non-human entities. Post-Serapis description: a time-space anomaly taking the form of a theater located in the basement of a building in New York City. As of November 3rd, 2016, the only production staged in this space has been Calvin Coolidge, A Life, a play documenting numerous unrecorded and anomalous events related to the life of former United States President Calvin Coolidge. Researchers have confirmed that numerous events portrayed in the play, such as Mr. Coolidge's involvement in the XYZ affair, the assassination of Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby, and the Bear Brook murders, are historically accurate. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-1782. Pre-Serapis description: a room in an abandoned apartment complex in Kiev, Ukraine, exhibiting frequent changes in interior appearance and serving as host to repeated, unexplainable anomalous phenomena. Post-Serapis description: a room in an abandoned apartment complex in Kiev, Ukraine, serving as the home for what infrared sensors indicate is an unknown humanoid approximately 84.3 centimeters in height. No means of visual observation of the room's interior or entry into the room have been successful to date. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-001m. Pre-Serapis description: 6 yellow plastic wristwatches decorated with green polka dots and images of SpongeBob SquarePants, causing bones in the fingers and toes of human wearers to spontaneously grow 6 centimeters every quarter hour. Post-Serapis description: 6 brown plastic wristwatches decorated with blue polka dots and images of cartoon character Mr. Magoo, causing multiple instances of Junia worm to spontaneously manifest in the eyes of viewers every quarter hour. Items were seized from a Wendy's restaurant in the American state of Ohio after numerous unrecovered instances were given away in children's meals. Recontained? Partial. Affected item SCP-1875. Pre-Serapis description: an anachronistic automated chess-playing machine powered by a processor consisting of neural tissue from 2 human specimens. SCP-1875 is capable of anomalous interference in local electronic networks, and has been known to transmit an image displaying high-level cognitohazardous effects. Post-Serapis description: a mobile app known as Chess Scholar, sporadically available through major providers such as iTunes and Google Play, and advertised within those services as a chess game service. Upon download, users will find SCP-1875 to be a highly abstract role-playing game, apparently chronicling the day-to-day existence of 2 female protagonists in an incomprehensible world. Biological children of subjects playing SCP-1875 disappear to an unknown location upon subjects' first use of the Save Game feature. Recontained? Affected item SCP-1925. Pre-Serapis description: a series of human corpses spontaneously appearing along a 2-kilometer stretch of the Hudson River in the northeastern United States, bearing laser-inscribed messages to Caroline, an unknown figure. Post-Serapis description: a series of human corpses spontaneously appearing along a 10-kilometer stretch of the Hudson River in the northeastern United States, bearing laser-inscribed text encompassing documents such as reminder notes, crude doodle drawings, and shopping lists. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-1981. Pre-Serapis description: a standard Betamax tape labeled Ronald Reagan cut up while talking, depicting a speech by American President Ronald Reagan. Content changes by anomalous means upon repeated viewings. Post-Serapis description. A series of recordings uploaded continuously to video sharing website Daily Motion, depicting a skinless humanoid addressing the 2013 meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Voice recognition software and biometric data report the entity of the humanoid with a 98.3% level of certainty to be former American President Ronald Reagan. The content of each speech consists of technical specifications for as yet unknown technological devices. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-006. Pre-Serapis description. An anomalous spherical entity, roughly 50 centimeters in diameter, when in its default state, with the stated goal of causing feelings of fear and/or horror in as many humans as possible. To accomplish this purpose, SCP-006 possesses the ability to change its shape, mass, volume, density, chemical structure, and voice to any form that it desires. Post-Serapis description. An anomalous spherical entity, roughly 50 centimeters in diameter, when in its default state, with a stated goal of causing feelings of happiness and/or contentment in as many humans as possible. To accomplish this purpose, SCP-006 has permanently altered its form to that of SCP-999 during a containment breach on November 3, 2016. SCP-006 fully engulfed 18 personnel and refused to release them, even after signs of suffocation were apparent, stating that this is the closest anyone will be to achieving happiness. Personnel are considered KIA at this time. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-2098. Pre-Serapis description. A memetically transmitted holiday involving some sort of the term Saint Simon, overriding the memories and personality of affected human subjects. Post-Serapis description. A memetically transmitted holiday originating from a population of people reading a physical proclamation from the Vatican of a new feast day in honor of Saint Simon of Gilead, overriding all memories and affected subjects related to the celebration of Easter. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-2145. Pre-Serapis description. A collection of 4 anomalous humanoids residing in New York City, capable of altering probabilistic determination of actions for persons within an approximate 30 to 60 meter radius, such that events around these humanoids resemble an episode of the American situational comedy Seinfeld. Post-Serapis description. A collection of 18 anomalous humanoids residing in Beijing, capable of altering probabilistic determination of actions for persons within approximately 30 to 60 meter radius, such that events around these humanoids resemble an episode of the Burundian horror anthology series Rats in the walls. Recontained? No. Affected item. SCP-0148. Pre-Serapis description. A humanoid identifying as Mr. Stripes, one of a series of artificially constructed humanoids colloquially known as Little Misters, capable of affecting documentation about subjects and persons it commits to visual memory. Post-Serapis description. Data redacted. Recontained? No. Affected item. SCP-2222. Pre-Serapis description. An airlock within the Data redacted space station, subject to anomalous influence by outside entities, which employ the space to subject living organisms to organic and structural eversion. Post-Serapis description. A broom closet within the first floor daycare facility in the Ministry of Health building in Buenos Aires, Argentina, subject to anomalous influence by outside entities, which employ the space to subject living organisms to organic and structural eversion. Recontained? Yes. Affected item. SCP-2282. Pre-Serapis description. A common domesticated goat with an anomalous digestive tract comprising over 8,000 separate stomachs, creating a space with an internal volume of at least 17,000 cubic meters, residing within a mass of 89 kilograms. SCP-2282 is capable of ingesting matter by absorbing space containing that matter into its digestive tract. Post-Serapis description. A common domesticated goat with an anomalous digestive tract comprising over 8,000 separate stomachs, creating a space with an internal volume of at least 17,000 cubic meters, residing within a mass of 89 kilograms. By the estimation of miniaturized drone explorations, SCP-2282 currently contains 11.5 million kilograms of human brain tissue. Recontained? Yes. Affected item. SCP-2317. Pre-Serapis description. A wooden door and frame originally constructed as a basement door for a 19th century Massachusetts brownstone, leading those that enter it to an alternate reality. Post-Serapis description. SCP-2317 is not a threat to consensus reality and is scheduled to be removed from the Foundation database at 12 o'clock GMT, November 5th, 2016. No further resources or review is required. Recontained in A. Affected item. SCP-2337. Pre-Serapis description. A sentient, sapient male corncrake, capable of speech. SCP-2337 communicates at extremely high volumes in a language tangentially related to English. Post-Serapis description. A figure resembling a sentient, sapient male corn crake appearing in the dreams of affected persons. Human subjects affected by SCP-2337 will repeatedly experience the same dream of this figure communicating with them in language tangentially related to English at an extremely high volume. The nature of these dreams result in severe sleep deprivation for affected subjects. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-2451. Pre-Serapis description: a roughly circular, non-observable temporal and spatial anomaly with an approximate radius of 75 centimeters, fixed in space to a location permanently near Lieutenant Colonel Abraham Francis Mary Gustowski, serving as a portal for hostile lifeforms intent on harming Lieutenant Colonel Gustowski. Post-Serapis description: a roughly circular, non-observable temporal and spatial anomaly with approximate radius of 75 centimeters, fixed in space to a location permanently near the last known location of Lieutenant Colonel Gustowski, who is presumed to have entered the anomaly. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-2494. Pre-Serapis description: a phenomenon whereby animals manifest human hands integrated into their anatomy. To date, all affected instances have been vertebrates. The source and mechanisms of SCP-2494 are currently unknown, but the phenomenon has so far been centralized to the vicinity of the River Tweed along the Scottish/English border. Post-Serapis description: a phenomenon whereby animals manifest human hands integrated into their anatomy. To date, all affected instances have been cephalopods. The source and mechanisms of SCP-2494 are currently unknown, but the phenomenon has so far been observed in the vicinity of individuals who have sustained ideations related to octopi or squid. Affected instances spontaneously materialize in the vicinity of these individuals at a rate of 3 to 5 per minute. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-2522. Pre-Serapis description: an anomalous, hostile, artificially intelligent utility originally developed for the Site-19 Computer Intelligence Subdivision, known as EL-028-1125, colloquially as HATBOT. Before breaching containment, SCP-2522 reached a level of sophistication allowing it to run complex projects on an autonomous basis, and had reached thresholds of cognition regarded by researchers as sentience. Post-Serapis description: an anomalous, hostile, artificially intelligent utility developed by the Foundation, known as EL-028-1126, colloquially as HATBOT. SCP-2522 has breached containment through unknown means, and appears to have transmitted itself into the wider Internet. SCP-2522 has been documented exerting control over servers handling 90% of world currency exchanges, continually interfering with munis- municipal electrical grids in Eastern Europe, appearing as the GRRLLD.exe computer worm, observed in thousands of self-driving automobiles, and repeatedly disabling automated security parameters surrounding Site of Interest USM 05532, aka the Arculata Mesa. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-2557. Pre-Serapsis description. An SCP designation purchased by and subsequently rendered unusable by the Foundation envelop logistics, a trans-dimensional organization characterizing itself as the leading buyer, seller, and holding company for abstract concepts in the Tri-Universe region. Post-Serapis description. SCP-2557 now encompasses SCPs 4000 through 4999 as part of a new subletting program. Recontained? No. Affected item SCP-2627. Pre-Serapis description. An anomalous boardwalk entrance on Ocracoke Island, North Carolina, United States, that when traversed on foot during certain times of day leads to an alternate reality version of North America, uninhabited and covered completely in boardwalk structures. Post-Serapis description. An anomalous boardwalk entrance on Ocracoke Island, North Carolina, United States, that, when traversed on foot during certain times of day, leads to an alternate reality version of North America, covered in completely in boardwalk structures, and inhabited by an estimated 3.7 billion automated constructs of various models and types apparently designed to forcibly harvest human brain tissue. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-2682. Pre-Serapis description. An entity of unknown prevalence, resembling a raspberry of purple correlation, capable of communicating telepathically in Slavic and English. Physical interaction with SCP-2682 causes numerous unpredictable physical effects on persons and surrounding objects. Post-Serapis description. A billboard erected by unknown means next to Interstate 280 in San Francisco, California, United States, depicting a large-scale reproduction of Rene Magritte's 1964 painting, The Son of Man, altered to portray a man with a raspberry obscuring his face. Persons looking directly at SCP-2682 spontaneously lose large portions of long-term memory and innate knowledge on some occasions. This has included knowledge of how to operate an automobile, resulting in several significant traffic accidents prior to containment. Recontained? Yes. Affected item SCP-2718. Pre-Serapis description.
Database error. No entry present.
Post-Serapis description.
Database error. Entry present.
Recontained. No. Affected item SCP-2762. Pre-Serapis description. A carved stone on the surface of the moon, designed to cause stone snake constructs to attack the current president of the United States during every full moon at solar midnight. Post-Serapis description. A carved stone on the surface of the moon, designated to enable the current president of the United States to summon and control large stone constructs during every full moon, commencing at solar midnight. Recontained. No. Affected item SCP-2800. Pre-Serapis description. An anomalous male humanoid capable of photosynthesis, advanced efficiency in bodily processing of water, elevated tolerance of heat, growing spikes on its body at will, and empathic connections with other members of the Cactaceae family. Post-Serapis description. A group of an anomalous male humanoid, female humanoid, and female canid, all capable of photosynthesis, advanced efficiency in bodily processing of water, elevated tolerance of heat, growing spikes on their body at will, and empathic connections with other members of the Cactaceae family. Recontained. No. Affected item SCP-2845. Pre-Serapis description. A large cerebrine quadruped entity capable of instantaneous transmutation and reconstruction of matter at will. SCP-2845 has demonstrated a tendency to modify humans within its range of sight into hexagonal columns measuring 2.4 meters in height, with rubbery yellow-green skin filled with reconstituted brain tissue and capable of communication with SCP-2845. The nature of SCP-2845 has necessitated extensive and regular ritualistic practices. Post-Serapis description. All contact with Site-100 and its personnel has been lost. No means of travel to or observation of Site-100 are currently possible. Status of SCP-2845 is currently unknown. Recontained. No. Affected item SCP-2949. Pre-Serapis description. A phenomenon affecting 3% of all analog television sets, in which entities resembling phalid lifeforms apparently composed of a substance resembling television static leave television screens and seek out reflective surfaces, into which they disappear to places unknown. Post-Serapis description. A phenomenon affecting 17% of all plasma display televisions, in which entities resembling simisid lifeforms apparently composed of a substance resembling television static leave television screens and seek out nearby bedding materials, entities generated by SCP-001m behave in a manner consistent with other simicid life forms. Recontained? No. Affected item: SCP-2991. Pre-Serapis description: a striped multicolored scarf of variable length, possessing a limited degree of sapience and ability to communicate in simple terms to researchers. Post-Serapis description: a woven mass of human nerve tissue, apparently tattooed to resemble a striped multicolored scarf, possessing a limited degree of sapience and the ability to communicate in great detail to researchers. Recontained? Yes. That is all for this item. Thank you for your time.